What meant more to you? Your first gold glove at 25 or your last gold glove at 37?
Well, I think when I look at it, or I think about it, the last one at 37, and I say that simply because it exemplified a degree of consistency and being able to prove it later in life that I still have what it takes to be able to garner a Gold Glove that late in a career. I think was something that meant a lot to me.
It's interesting. If I was a young man and I said, but Ozzie, I don't have a full coaching staff and a bucket of balls and a fungo. I don't have all that gear. I can't really practice shortstop. What would you tell me?
I tell you, go and find yourself a brick wall or a racquetball court or something, and learn to throw balls off the wall as I did as a kid, not knowing that ultimately will help me become the player that I became. As a kid growing up in South Central Los Angeles, I used to throw the ball over the roof thinking that I was fast enough to run around to the other side and catch it before it hit the ground, hoping that it hit the gutter, which I was never able to get there, but it was that type of determination that made me the player that I ultimately became.
As you watch Anthony and you get to know him tonight and Dansby too, that play your position.
Yeah.
And you're kind of the king of the position as far as awards go. As you watch the modern shortstop, what do you like about watching the modern shortstop?
Well, I think that with the modern day shortstop, you probably get a lot more offense than you did defense. I think there's more emphasis today on the offensive aspect of it, but they've done a pretty good job of melting the two. It was always my goal to be as well rounded as I could possibly be. I didn't want to leave the game being looked upon as a one dimensional player. And I think that players today are certainly not one dimensional players, and they can play on both sides of the ball, which I think is very valuable to their teams.
For you, throughout your career, I'm sure you always longed to improve at all times. If you were to look back at a certain phase in your career defensively, and you would say, Sut, I took the biggest jump at this phase in my career, whether it was with your mind or your body defensively, when did that occur?
Well, it's hard to say, because when you play 19, 20 years, I played 19 years, and, I tried to learn something every day. I took ground balls every day. I didn't take anything for granted because I didn't want to walk away from this feeling that, hey, I should have worked a little bit harder at it. So it was, for me, it was an exercise every day in trying to be better today than I was yesterday. And that does that mean making one more play or hopefully the play that saves the ball game? So I tell people all the time that no matter how good the play, I tried to get rid of it as quickly as possible. No matter how bad the play, I tried to get rid of that as quickly as possible because the next play may determine whether you win or lose.